It's my honor to introduce the main man behind today's webinar. It's Dr. Chandramohan Vadi from Hyderabad, Managing Director of Preeti Hospital, Hyderabad. Actually, two Preeti hospitals in Hyderabad. And he's more focused on pediatric RIRS, laparoscopy, and supine PCNL. He has conducted international, national level live operative workshops in RIRS, mini-perc, and urethroplasty in his own hospitals. He's a course director for 6 months endourology fellowship program at Preeti Hospital, Hyderabad, demonstrated more than 30 live surgeries of RIRS, PCNL, and laparoscopic surgery nationally and internationally. I am very glad to say that he has come to my center also to perform a live surgery and give very didactic lectures in 2017. More than 10 international and national publications, including RRS in 4 months old male boy, which was published in December 2019. And he has presented a video on RRS in 5 years old child in EAU Congress in Denmark. So please, Dr. Chandramohan Vadi,
Thank
for
you.
your talk on RRS in children.
Thank you, Anil, for that presentation. Now I will speak on RIRS in infants and children. As you know, pediatric stone disease incidence is rising. Treatment guidelines constantly are changing. ESWL and PCNL were the standard of care, or the standard of care, will going to be the standard of care, but with addition of inclusion of RIRS as an alternate option, less complications and comparable SFR with PCNL, but technically challenging in children. Anatomical aspects, if you see normal caliber of urethra, it is less than 8 French in 1 year. Up to 10 years, it is 8 French tight. 8 French, but we insert 10, 12, 14 access sheets. Bladder capacity is 150 ml, less than that in 1 year baby. It will go up to 250 maximum. Bladder fills very fast in children while doing RIRS. Normal caliber of ureter is also very, very important. It is only 7 French in very small children, maximum 9 French. So you have to keep these 3 slides in mind before you do the procedure. Evaluation in small children. Small children, ultrasound KIB urine culture is routine. Only difference is metabolic workup. Most of the times I keep a separate flyer for the patients to get it done in the lab. We cannot remember sometimes these, better to have on the paper. Technical aspects are very important. Low doses CT, usually the CT picture will be slightly less quality. That is fine as long as you can interpret the anatomy and the stone. The external genitalia are very small, legs are small. You don't need stirrups in most of the children. All you need is gentle strapping with cotton so that they do not be overextended or underextended. If you see the small external genitalia like this, they will be too small. You have to have good light before you insert. Many of the times you put the scope in the vagina in small children. It hurts, it damages. You have to be careful. In male children, the prepuce has to be retracted carefully. You can do dilatation in female children little easily, but in male children, you cannot dilate more vigorously, except submeatal navicular fossa region. Access sheath insertion, we use with rigid ureteroscopy. Whatever the method used, before that assess the urethra with 6 by 7.5 ureteroscope. Without that, directly inserting is disaster. Injuring to the urethra cannot be replaceable. One side ureter injury, you can have Boyari, you can have reimplantation. But once damaged urethra, particularly in male children, disastrous. Ureteric access sheath placement, better in stented patients, no doubt about it, especially less than 2 years. Stented is better than dilatation because it causes perforation. Sheathless RIRS you have to do more often in children, and it is difficult because with small penis, if you go inside and manipulate, it may not reflect what exactly you want. In that case, pubic symphysis you have to take as God a little bit, but still sometimes too much scope will be outside. That is a difficulty. Bladder drainage is very, very essential. A small needle suprapubically we used to use, but that may hurt the bladder or your flexible scope or your access sheath. The aspiration with intracath is very easy. One assistant will sit and continuously aspirate. If the water is coming nicely, that means pressure in the kidney is less. As Anil told, outflow is the most important factor, especially if you are not using the access sheath. Normal male urethral orifice looks like ureter, maybe sometimes lesser than ureteric caliber. Orifices post-stented, they look like in adults. Fortunately, all stented ureters behave very well in children, except the length is smaller. If you have kinks, this is the problem. Flexible scope can kink at the UVJ, at the PUJ, and if you force, it can perforate, it can tear, it can avulse. No excessive force. Always be on the stiff guide wire. Guide wire, two guide wires acts as a railroad. It is very safe to use two guide wires so that you pass smoothly, especially when you are planning for basketing. Certain maneuver like stretching of the abdominal wall, merge maneuver, especially in the upper ureter, very essential. Do not force when the respiration is very high respiratory rate. Ask the anesthetist to stop, do merge maneuver, gently pass the guide wire, then thread over that. RGP better to avoid if you wanted to do minimal 2 ml, 1 ml contrast. Better to avoid if you have a clear-cut information on the CT. Access sheath angle, the moment you insert, no time it reaches upper ureter. You have to be very careful. 28 centimeter itself is long. You can go up to 16 centimeter from Cook. More you go high, more you cannot operate freely. Basketing is mandatory to analyze the stone. RGP at the end, I recommend with my experience of last 7 years doing children, because it will tell whether any complication has happened or not, particularly PUJ, so that you can keep the stent for a longer time. Stents in small babies, we use 16 centimeter, 3.5 French, available in our hospital. Some of them questioned why 16 centimeter. There is less than that is not available in India. So we use commonly 16. Problem with 1 year babies is too much coil will be there in the bladder. Pediatric anesthesia ventilatory settings, including the ventilator, are different. I have to buy separately with the low settings 50 ml in the ventilator. Ventilatory settings, I am not going into the detail, but better your pediatric anesthetist should be there than regular anesthetist. It makes a lot of difference because they cannot reduce the respiratory rate, they cannot reduce the tidal volume as we expect in adults. There are no specific flexible scopes available separately for children except Coral Starch. I am lucky to use last few months. It is only short length, no diameter change. That means outside your small penis, if the length is less, your performance will be better. Post-operative care, the definition of sepsis is different. Total leukocyte count up to 30,000 is normal in less than 1 year baby. So you have to involve pediatrician, or else you should gain the knowledge on a regular basis. It is a pediatric anesthetist, pediatrician, intensivist, nephrologist. Everybody should come into picture. Nephrologist for giving the dosages, especially antibiotics which are nephrotoxic. In my experience is 62 cases in the last 1.5 year which I have written this paper. Less than 2 years, 8 children successfully. Less than 2 years is very important because their external genitalia will be very, very, very small. Once the child crosses more than 7 years, it almost looks like adult. So complication rate is 38%, but most of them are fever. Fever is a major complication as per as literature. Provided you treat appropriately, it may become, it may add to the morbidity. Grade 4, grade 5 like ureteric injury, perforation are rare in our study, nil, because I stent in all the cases. I stent in all the cases. I do not mind one extra setting, but I don't want to damage the ureter. In my infants, less than 10 years, less than 2 years, I have done 10 cases, 2 failed, which I converted into mini or micro PERC. 87% is success rate. Usually uric acid stones I have seen, metabolic evaluation showed hyperuricosuria and hyperoxaluria in these children. Review of literature, it takes less fluoroscopy time in BMC urology, no doubt. Complication rates are comparable to PCNL, maybe slightly less, published in Journal of Urology by Saad KS et al. Risk of uretary injury is more than PCNL, 3 to 8%, published by Evan Chen from Urolithiasis. Hospital stay is definitely less. In USA and other developed countries, they are discharging on the same day, but we discharge on the next day night or next day evening. And comparable SFR, definitely if you spare time and do all the proper precaution to fragment the small stones, it will be comparable to PCNL. In infants, there are 2 papers. From June Lee only, this paper recently I have studied, is one of our speaker today. It is highly efficient, minimally invasive and reproducible surgery. With this, I will show 1 or 2 videos and then conclude my talk. This is the 4 months male baby who presented with raised creatinine, anuria, bilateral ureteric stone and kidney stones. Always reduce, typically remove the prepuce, don't force with phimotic this thing. It is post-stented. Even then, I had a lot of problem in accessing the PCS. You should be careful in passing these wires. Don't lose the wire also. Terumo guide wire usually slips. When you don't pass the flexible scope easily, then rigid ureteroscopy can be done. This is the method how the bladder is drained. See, it is not going easily at the UVJ. Then slipped. Then I used rigid scope for 2 minutes so that even post-stented, we passed 2 guide wires. And then now I have removed and threaded over the guide wire Flex XC. Once I went inside, these are the stone. This is the large stone. You will not have too much space for fine dusting. You have to do popcorn and don't inject water more. Too much vision is not required. At the end, RGP normal. Because the child has anuria, I thought of doing other side also, ureteric stone. This time I faced problem in the upper end of the ureter. This is the stent which is removed. When I passed above, the flexible scope was going like this, but in the upper end it was not going. Dangerous. It cannot slip, it can perforate only. Then I have to use an extreme maneuver to keep the ureteric lumen at the center and then could pass it. All these maneuvers have to be done extremely careful. You observe my hand. I am using the pubic symphysis of the patient to maneuver it because the penis will not be able to catch the penis so easily. So with this, at the end, we did RGP and then it showed dense nephrogram phase. That means when compared to the right side, left side has little raised pressure. Now I pushed the stent inside, then in the post-operative CT for academic purpose is done and that is normal. This is published in December. in pediatrics elsewhere as case report. Now coming to the 1 year female baby, just to show the female, in these children, dilatation is easy, but we should not over dilate. This is the last dilator I am using. Once this dilatation is done with a lot of jelly, careful insertion of the ureteroscope, inspect, pass 2 guide wires, and then flexible scope, just pass over the guide wire, then remove it. And bladder can be drained with feeding tube in female baby because you will have space. This is calcium oxalate dihydrate stone and can nice painting with powder. Avoid injuring the guide wire because you will have very less space. If it is coming in your view like this, you can pull a little bit, but don't lose the outside guide wire because PUJ will be little mobile. If you have a guide wire, it keeps it straight. This is the calyx, this is the powder, and at the end you do RGF if you wish, otherwise not necessary. We use 3.5 French stent, CT normal. Now one next case is 5 years male, right large renal calculus, where I used both homium as well as thulium. And here ultrasound, you should be ready with supine or prone PCNL also, because sometimes large stones when you take, it may not be possible technically to do the entire procedure. This is a stiffer guide wire. I am passing 12/14 access sheath, which generally not recommended, but for academic purpose, I used FlexX C, and then C access sheath was high. Now I am using one layer by layer. This is the classical I do. Textbook, you take one paper out so that you don't reduce the surface area of the stone. This was totally occupying the pelvis. So you remove one layer. At the end it becomes thin and then it becomes fragmented. Then you have to go for pop dusting. Go for pop dusting later part of it, in the last part. Don't go in the beginning. This is the basket end circle I am using. And at the end, small fragments, low energy, 2.5 you use, and then fragment it. Now this is the last case I want to show. Horseshoe kidney, large stone. See, this is the way access sheath goes. In none of our patients, submeatal stenosis has formed, because everybody asks that. It's an important question. You put lot of jelly, adequately calibrate. If you cannot, don't do the case. Just convert it into PCNL. In children male, the main limiting factor is urethra of the male. In female, that I have not noticed, even the feeding tube goes. See here, after doing half of the case, ischemic part of the stone, I was not able to do. I was not able to do basketing. Then I used high frequency laser. As Swami said, if you use more frequency, it wobbles. See, now I am using high frequency, vision will be disturbed. Whenever you use high frequency, vision is less. But kidney, the stone wobbles, and I could enter into the inferior calyx. So with that, I could avoid PCNL. With experience, you will know what type of setting at that level you have to use. Sometimes relook is also important. This is the RGP at the end, showing no intravasation, no extravasation. This is the last slide where I tried in a small child. RGP in the beginning showed perforation and extravasation. Immediately I switched over to supine PCNL with Valdivia position, then I could finish it. So we have to be careful. Even though SFR is comparable to PCNL, it has less hospital stay, less radiation exposure. First time I am using a negative slide, technically challenging, multiple sessions needed, longer operative time. You should know which patient to be chosen wisely. Without the teamwork, it cannot be done. Dr. Ramakrishna, Dr. Swami, Manas, Dr. Hemnath and Soundarya are my team of consultants. And these are my 2 hospitals. And you can use unedited videos in my YouTube channel. You can watch whenever you want. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Anil, thank you.